Welcome to review of expressions. Hopefully this helps you study for your tests. You can check and correct your packet and study your mistakes. First section, evaluating expressions. When we evaluate expressions, anywhere we see a y, we're going to replace it with a -2, and anywhere we see a p, we're going to replace it with a 3. So what we should have here is 7 times -2 minus 3 squared. Keep any original parentheses, copy down anything else that's left. Okay, then PEMDAS tells us to do parentheses first, and within the parentheses we should do our exponents. So 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. We'll copy down what's left. Oops. Okay, now we can take care of multiplication. So 7 times -2 is -14. Okay, and then here's where it gets a little tricky. I would remember, okay, anytime you have subtraction, do keep, change. So this is really -14 plus -9. Because they're both negative, they have the same sign, so this is same sign sum. 14 plus 9 is -23, and 4 times -23 is -92. Okay, so there's question 1. Let's look at the next one. Evaluate 8m minus 6n if m is 4. So anytime we see an m, we're going to replace it with a 4, and n is -7. Okay, what you need to recognize is that that right there is multiplication. Okay, there's no plus sign, there's no subtraction sign, there's no division sign, so 8m is really 8 times m. So that's 8 times 4 minus 6 times -7. Okay, and 8 times 4 is 32 minus, well, we can treat this, well, I'll do it this way. 6 times -7 is -42, but then recognize that double negative is really a positive. We get 74. Okay, next question. Anywhere we see an x, we'll replace it with a 44, and anywhere we see a t, we'll replace it with an 8. Okay, so we should have 44 over 4 minus 5 times 8. Okay, fractions mean to divide, so 44 over 4 is the same as 44 divided by 4, which is 11, and then minus 5 times 8, which is 40. Okay, again, it might be helpful to keep, change. Keep 11, change to positive, or change to addition, change to -40. Okay, and this is different sign difference. And the difference between 40 and 11 is 29, and the negatives are going to win. Okay, for number 4, this has 3 different variables and 3 different values to substitute. Okay, this is going to be 7 times p, which is -7, and then plus 11 times q, which is 3, plus 1/9 times 72. Okay, so we have 7 times -7 is -49. 11 times 3 is 33. And then here, okay, we want to treat this like 72 over 1. And we can recognize that 9 goes into 9 once, 9 goes into 72 8 times. This is really plus 8. Okay, and from there, okay, we have different sign difference. Or you can go ahead and add your positives first, and then subtract 49. Either way, you get -8. Okay, so go ahead and check and correct your packet, fix any mistakes you have, and we'll move on to the next section. Okay, on this section, we are going to use our shapes to combine like terms. Okay, that's what it means to simplify expressions. Okay, when I look at the first one here, I recognize that they both have W's. So this is more a matter of keeping your sign straight. Okay, we have 1.4 minus 0.6. Okay, so 1.4 minus 0.6, we need to borrow. Okay, 14 minus 6 is 8, 0 minus 0 is 0, bring the decimal down, so we end up getting 0.8 W. Similar here, okay, both of these are from the M family, but in order to do 3/4 M plus 4/5 M, we need common denominators. What's common between 4 and 5 is 20. So we multiply this fraction by 4 top and bottom, this one by 5 top and bottom, and we get 15 over 20 plus 16 over 20 equals 31 over 20 M. Okay, again for this number 3, they all have a y, so we're going to be combining all of them together, but again we need common denominators. So what's common between 6, 2, and 3 is 6. So we'll multiply this fraction by 3 and this one by 2. So we get 1/6 plus 3/6 plus 2/6. Okay, and we should get 6/6y or just 1y, or you could even write that as plain old y. Okay, again for number 4, they all have an m, so we're really just doing 1.8 minus 0.2 minus 7. Okay, these we can combine if we want. Okay, this would be 1.8 minus 7.2, okay, or 1.8 plus negative 7.2. That's different sign, difference. So we subtract. 7.2 minus 1.8. We need to borrow. Makes this a 6, this a 12. 12 minus 8 is 4, and 6 minus 1 is 5. Bring your decimal down. So we should be getting negative 5.4 M. Next question. This one's a little bit different because we have members of the B family as well as members of the A family. Okay, so we'll be doing 1.3A minus 1A, which we should recognize as 0.3A. But you also have to do negative 0.8B plus 2.2B, which is different sign, difference. So we subtract 2.2 minus 0.8, borrow. 12 minus 8 is 4, 1 minus 0 is 1, bring your decimal down. Okay, so our final answer here should be 0.3A plus 1.4B. Okay, next question. We can combine the A's. The B stands alone, and so does our constant. Okay, so we're just going to focus on 1/5 A plus 4/5 A, which is 5/5 A, which is the same as just 1A, plus 3/5 B plus 1. Go ahead and check and correct your packet, and we'll move on to the next section. For this one, we are expanding. This means distribute. Okay, so for each one of these, we're going to set up a box. Okay, and then we multiply 1.2 times 2 is 2.4, keep the p. 1.2 times negative 3 is negative 3.6. So our answer here is 2.4p minus 3.6. And you do need to rewrite your answer. Next, we have 1/3 on the side, 12p up top, and then plus 9q up top. Okay, now this one I would take the time to do the work off to the side. Okay. 1/3 times 12p over 1. Okay, well, 1 times 12p is 12p, and 3 times 1 is 3, but 12 divided by 3 is 4. Keep the p. Okay, and similarly, 1/3 times 9q over 1. 1 times 9q is 9q, and 3 times 1 is 3, but 9 divided by 3 is 3, and that's positive. Keep the q. Okay, so we have 4p plus 3q. Number 9, 1/5 on the side, t over 3 plus 1/2. Again, I would do work off to the side. 1/5 times t over 3. 1 times t is t, and 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, so we should be getting t over 15 here. And then we have 1/5 times 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1, and 5 times 2 is 10. So this is plus 1/10, and that's our answer. T over 15 plus 1/10. Number 10, we have negative 4 on the side, negative 2q plus 2.5 up top. Okay, negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Keep the q. Negative 4 times positive 2.5 is negative 10. So we get 8q minus 10. Okay, don't forget about your peace sign chart. Okay, negative times a negative gives you that positive. Okay, for this one, again, whenever you have fractions, I would do the work off to the side. Okay, for this, you might want to cross simplify. You don't have to. Okay, we can just go ahead and multiply. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12, and 3 times 1 is 3, but then recognize that 12 divided by 3 is 4, and a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So this is negative 4x. And then we have negative 2/3 times 3 over 1. Okay, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and it's going to be negative. So negative 4x minus 2. Okay, number 12, we're going to do negative 0.5, which is the same as negative 1/2 times 2. Okay, and half of 2 is 1, but it's going to be negative. And then negative 0.5 times negative 4. Okay, negative times negative is a positive, and half of 4 is 2. Keep the n. So negative 1m plus 2n. Okay, this one's tricky, number 15, because we have to distribute, but then we also have to simplify. Okay, so we'll do our 2.5 on the side of the box, m up top, and negative 2. 2.5 times m is 2.5m. 2.5 times negative 2 is negative 5. Okay, so that box replaces the one up top. So we can rewrite this as 2.5m minus 5 and then plus the 5.6m that was there the whole time. And now we need to combine the m's. Okay, when we do that, 2.5 plus 5.6, we get 8.1m and then minus that 5. Okay, similarly here, we would set up two boxes. Okay, 4 times 0.6n is 2.4n, and 6 times negative 3 is negative 12. Negative 0.2 times 2n is negative 0.4n, and negative 0.2 times negative 3 is positive 0.6. Okay, so we have 2.4n minus 12 minus 0.4n plus 0.6. Okay, and we're going to combine the n's, and we will also combine the constants. Okay, so we have 2.4n minus 0.4n should give you a 2.0n. And then we also have negative 12 plus 0.6. That's difference sign difference. So we're going to do 12 minus 0.6. Notice I have to add a decimal and we have to borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4. Bring your decimal down. We have 11.4, and the negatives are going to win. So minus 11.4. Go ahead and check and correct your work, and we'll move on to the next topic. For this, we're going to factor. Okay, for each one of these, you have to identify the GCF, divide, write in factored form, and then I do recommend for your test that you practice checking so you can guarantee yourself 100. For number 17, the GCF is 4, so we're going to divide each term by 4, and 4 goes on the outside of our parentheses. 4t divided by 4 is just 1t, and negative 20s divided by 4 is negative 5s. So that's your final answer. That's factored form. And if you wanted to check, all you have to do is distribute to make sure you get back to where you started. Okay, so 4 times 1t is 4t, and 4 times negative 5s is negative 20s. So we do get back to where we started. For number 18, both terms are negative, so we're going to be pulling out a negative, but we can also pull out a 3. So the GCF is negative 3. Negative 3 goes on the outside of our parentheses. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2, keep the p. Negative 21 divided by negative 3 is positive 7, keep the q. For number 19, the GCF is 4. So we're going to divide each term by 4. 8i divided by 4 is 2i. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then 4j divided by 4 is 1j. For number 20, our GCF is 2. Divide each term. 6a divided by 2 is 3a. Positive 10b divided by 2 is positive 5b. And negative 20 divided by 2 is negative 10. For number 21, all 3 terms are negative, so we're going to divide by a negative. We can also divide by 3. So GCF is negative 3. Negative 9 divided by negative 3 is positive 3, keep the m. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1, keep the n. And then negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. For number 22, our GCF is also negative 3, so divide by negative 3. Okay, negative 15 divided by negative 3 is 5, keep the x. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. And negative 12 divided by negative 3 is positive 4, keep the y. Check and correct your packet, and we'll do the next topic. Okay, translating verbal descriptions into algebraic expressions. This is 1/4 x less than, that's one of those key phrases that tells us to swap the order, the sum of these. Okay, so we're going to take the sum of 7 plus 2x, and then we're going to have 1/4 x less than that, meaning we're taking 1/4 x away. 4 times 5y divided by 18 should look like 4 times 5y over 18. 5/9 of means to multiply, so we're taking 5/9 of that parentheses, subtracted from, that's one of those key phrases that tells us to swap the order, 1/3 of this parentheses. Okay, so we have 1/3 q plus p, and then we're going to subtract from that 5/9 times 3p plus 1. Next question, 3/5 x subtracted from, okay, so again that goes at the end, 4 multiplied by 1/8 w. Okay, so we have 4 times 1/8 w, and then we're going to subtract 3/5 x. Okay, next we have q less than. Okay, it's one of those key phrases that tells us to swap. 2 multiplied by 4/15, excuse me, p. Okay, so we have 4/15 p, 2 times that, and then q less than all of that. Okay, for this one we have 9/14 of means to multiply 6x. Okay, so that's 9/14 times 6x, and then to reduce by 10 we subtract 10. Okay, and then we have 7/10 of means to multiply. Product also means to multiply, so when you see that double operation you need parentheses, and we're multiplying these. So we have 7/10 times 5p times 3. Check and correct your packet, and we'll do the last topic. For these, we're problem solving, and we're just writing expressions to represent this. Okay, so pears are 40 cents, apples are 25. If you have p pears, it's going to be 40 cents times however many you bought, plus 25 cents times the number of apples you bought. Okay, this one's similar. Okay, $45 per adult, but this is the number of adults, so 45 times 2x. And then we have $25 per child, and we have 3x minus 8 children. Okay, and then you can simplify. I chose to, so I did 90x plus 75x minus 200, which gives you 165x minus 200. For this one, Sandy had M balloons, but 5 bursts, so we take away 5, and she's dividing the rest equally among 6 nieces. So we divide by 6, and we're done. On the next page, okay, we are finding perimeter, okay, which means you add up all the sides. So we have a triangle where the base is 3x, and each side is 1/4 x plus 3. Do recommend drawing a picture, it does help. And then we're just going to combine 3x plus 1/4 x plus 3 plus 1/4 x plus 3. In order to combine our x's, we need common denominators. Okay, what's common between these is 4, so if I put this over 1 and multiply by 4, I should be all set. So we should have 12 over 4x plus 1 over 4x plus 1 over 4x, which gives you 14 over 4x, and then we also have the 3 plus 3, which is 6. Okay, and we were measuring in inches, so that is what our label will be. Okay, for this one, they tell you the width is 3/4 of the length. Okay, of means to multiply, so we're taking this length and multiplying by 3/4. Okay, and we can set up a box for that because we have the distributive property. Okay, 3/4 times 8u is 6u, and 3/4 times -12 is -9. Okay, I would set that up off to the side if you were unsure. Okay, and then your final answer is 6u minus 9 inches is your width. Okay, and then lastly, okay, we're subtracting longer rope minus the shorter rope. So we have 12.5x plus 17 minus 5x plus 0.4w. Okay, and then recognize that there's really a secret 1 here. So we're gonna keep this, change to addition, change to a -1. Okay, and I would set up your distributing box here. And when you do that, you get 12.5x plus 17 minus 5x minus 0.4w. Okay, and all that's left is to combine -5x with 12.5x. We get 7.5x minus the 0.4w plus 17, and our label is centimeters. Okay, so we made it. Hopefully that was helpful. Now it's your turn to go study your mistakes. Good luck.